Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Be a Better You podcast. I am your host and subconscious reprogramming expert, Allison K. Dagny. I am also a two-time selling best author, and I help women recover from emotional abuse by getting to the root. So, on this podcast, every episode that I bring to you is intended to give you information, to give you hope, to inspire you, and to give you tools and techniques to help you start to change. And that's why today's episode is all about why nothing changes when you're trying so hard. So, if you're someone who's felt like you've just been working so hard, you are doing all the things on your healing journey and still not really seeing much change, then this episode is going to explain why that's happening and, more importantly, what you can do differently. So one thing I want to tell you is that if you're not getting to the root of the problem, it's just going to keep coming back. It's no different than if you pluck a weed out or cut it off with scissors. The root is still under the ground. It's still going to keep coming back. So cutting that weed off at the base or at the flower is not really going to do much for you, and that's no different for your own healing. So if this is something that you've been struggling with and that you want support with, then you're in the right place. So as we get into this, I first want to tell you why effort alone does not work, at least for most people. I'd say the majority, because effort is the willpower method. And I tell this to my clients all the time, and maybe you've heard me say this before on this podcast. But if you're in a tug of war, and there are 95 of similar sized people on one side of the rope, and there are 5 people of similar size as the same group on the other side of the rope, who is going to win, right? The 95. This is the way that your mind is programmed. Your mind is divided up into these two parts, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is only running 5%. That's the willpower method, right? So you can try really, really hard to do what you want to do and change what you want to change, but ultimately, whatever's programmed in that 95% is going to win out every single time. Willpower is often where people try coping strategies, or they may try to distract themselves, or for 2 weeks they put in effort and they do really well, and then they slide back into those old patterns. And this is because they're using willpower. And willpower has its place. It's not a bad thing, but it's really not sustainable long term. The people who have their programming set the way that they want to live their lives in the subconscious mind are going to see more long-term changes. So if you want to make long-term changes, you've got to start at the root, which is in the subconscious mind. The willpower methods work, but usually it's temporary, and they don't rewire the subconscious mind. So you'll constantly have to tap back into willpower, which, as probably many of you know, can be very frustrating and exhausting. The root cause of why you keep looping back into the pain is because you have not rewired your subconscious mind. I want to give you a metaphor. It's like trying to repaint a house while the foundation is cracked. So no matter how many coats of paint that you add, the cracks are just going to keep showing back through. You've got to fix it at the foundation. You've got to, get down there and jack up the support beams or whatever you have to do to get that not to be showing above. So slapping paint on a house isn't going to reduce the cracking. You have to get to the foundation. And I talk about this a lot in my Radiate and Rise online community, where my members start to see that they're not alone because they have the support from me and they have the support from other people in the community. And just simply being surrounded by other people who understand or have been there really helps them, pull themselves out of this blame for they're not trying hard enough and they're not doing enough, and realizing that it actually is something that can be changed, but it has to happen in a different way. So just trying hard and putting in the effort and, really, really working yourself to the bone to try to get things to change is all really great intention, but the outcome doesn't change, right? The outcome is staying the same. So if you're like, oh my gosh, yes, this is me, I'm constantly spinning my wheels, that is something that is very, very normal, and I hear and see it all the time. So I don't want you to feel like there's something wrong with you. There's not. It's just a lot of times people haven't been taught how to make these changes last, and the lasting changes come from where the power is. So why aren't we working with the thing that holds the most power, which is the subconscious mind? Something that I tell all of my clients when they're learning how to reprogram their mind is that everything that you do has a positive intention or a benefit behind it to you that you may not realize. So if you get defensive, if you get angry, if you break down in tears, if you have any kind of behavior that you're like, oh, I wish I wasn't doing that. Well, there's a reason that you're doing that. You adapted that behavior to help you stay safe, to help you survive, to help you push forward, push through whatever negative scenarios that come your way. And this is also true for the trying that we do consistently. Like we're constantly trying to get better, constantly trying to heal. There's a positive intention behind that, right? I'm trying to make my life better. I'm trying to improve my relationships. I'm trying to improve my health because of the trauma that I went through. So that action of trying, of putting in all of that effort, there's a positive intention behind that. It's not what you think. And it's not just about, this, if I keep trying, I will get better thing. No, right? Putting in all this effort, all this and I'm talking about massive effort that a lot of people put in. They're reading all the books. They're watching all the videos. They're sharing and sending all of the Instagram reels and TikToks, and they're going to therapy. They're trying to reach out for support. Like all these things can actually keep the nervous system in survival mode. And for some people that feels safe. Okay? So most people don't realize that the action of putting in so much time and effort into your healing can actually be a benefit to you because it helps your body think that you're surviving. But the problem here is that it actually creates more stress. It actually creates more rumination and creates more self-doubt because you haven't come to a conclusion. You haven't reached a solution. You haven't gotten the answers, and everything is just a hamster wheel. So being in this kind of cycle becomes proof in your brain that, see, I can't change. See, nothing ever works for me. See, it's a lost cause. See, I'm too broken, right? When in fact, that's just the wrong method. You've just not been doing the right thing. You're not a broken person, right? I use this other example of if you're going to try to build a house and you have a hand saw, a screwdriver, and a hammer, you can build it. It'll probably get built. It'll take forever. You'll have blisters. Your back will be aching. The house is going to be, it's going to be a while before that house goes up. If you've got heavy machinery, if you've got power tools, if you've got electrical equipment, it's going to be built a lot faster, a lot easier, and you're going to save yourself a lot of pain, right? So that's why I bring this to you, because so many people are just trying the wrong things. They're doing all the things. They're not addressing the root of the problem. The root of the problem, again, starts in the subconscious mind. So when you're like, nothing changes, but I'm trying so hard, this is why. And this is why I'm telling you this, because I want to empower you so much. I really want you to know how you can make these changes for yourself. I also want to remind you, if you're not sure about what it is that's even at the root for you, you can go on my website and there is a free subconscious beliefs quiz where I have put questions that you can answer to see what the patterns are for your own subconscious mind. And then I manually literally manually go through these one by one, and I answer and give feedback for you for what is driving your subconscious mind. So this will give you a lot of insight because you'll start seeing patterns. If it's self-worth, if it's fear or anxiety, like different things like that. And we can help you get to the root of that. You just fill it out, and then within 48 hours, I'll get back to you with a comprehensive answer for every single belief. And that's totally free. You can do that right on my website. Okay. Now I have to tell you, I really am a huge proponent of using the subconscious to heal because it helped me. I was someone who tried so many things and nothing worked. And I was listening to podcasts and I came across something that was life-changing for me. The way that this person on this podcast was explaining my life and like why things weren't changing and what we needed to do to change it, right? That created such a curiosity inside of me that I reached out to this person and said, hey, like, can I put some of this stuff on my website for people who read my book? And she said, yeah, absolutely. And then we started having a conversation and she asked me if I ever thought about being a coach. And, I've always loved being in a leadership role and helping people. That's always been something that I've really felt called to do. And when she mentioned this, I thought I hadn't really actually thought I could do it. But after having a conversation with her, I realized this was something that I wanted to do. So I got really good at shifting my own beliefs, changing my own perspectives, getting a hold of my emotions so that I wasn't triggered by my ex or falling into anxiety or fears, worries, anything like that. And as that happened, I realized that this kind of thing needs to get out into the world and more people need to know how to do it. And so that's why I became a coach. And I can't tell you how many women schedule free 30-minute calls with me, and part of my intake form asks what have you tried, what has worked, what hasn't. And you would not believe how many people say, I've tried this, all these things. Nothing has given me lasting results. And I'm like, that's because you're not addressing the root. You are coping, or you are band-aiding, or you are distracting, or something else. So this is really, really important to understand that you're not alone in this, that so many other people are spinning their wheels just like you. I was on the bathroom floor in a puddle of my own tears. How do I stop getting triggered? How do I stop feeling this way? I picked myself up and I looked at the mess in the mirror and I knew I had to do something, but I didn't know what. All those years of abuse didn't go away after I left my marriage. I needed help, but even trying to figure out the right kind of help felt so confusing and totally overwhelming. I'd already tried so many things. I tried therapy, I tried breath work, I tried yoga, I tried reading and watching YouTube videos, but nothing worked. I ended up finding the right thing for me, and that's why I offer these free root cause calls to anyone, to not only help you uncover the root of your suffering, but also to help you find your right path, the path you'll be able to commit to with your time, with your budget, and your dreams for a healing outcome. You see, most people who are unable to move forward on their recovery journeys after emotional abuse think it's going to take forever and nothing works for me. But that's only true if you've tried everything to truly test it out. Healing at the root isn't something most people know about, and I want to let you in on this magical secret. Healing doesn't take time. It takes the right tools and a devotion to you. So whenever you feel ready, take one tiny little baby step and book a free root cause call, and we can talk about what would be best for you to get you unstuck. Okay, so let's talk about what actually creates change. And the first thing you need to know is that change isn't actually about trying harder. It's about working smarter with your subconscious mind. And here's the other thing. I actually don't like the word try at all. We may have learned this from growing up where it's like, just try your best and try really hard. And I feel like that, at least through my experience, that the word try indicates that there is no commitment. And so for me, I prefer to use the word commit. I'm committed to. You could use a different word. I'm devoted to. I'm aligned with XYZ, right? Whatever feels good to you. But for me, the word try leaves room for failure. And failure is subjective, right? And I don't mean it like we should never fail, because obviously failing is something that we need to do to learn and things like that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that just by using the word try, is like, I'll try really hard, sort of gives us an out, if that makes sense. So maybe think about the words that you use as well, because we put in a lot of effort to get where we want to be, feel what we want to feel. So even this episode is titled, Why Nothing Changes When You're Trying So Hard, because I know that many of you are trying. But let's shift this. Instead of let's try, let's say, I'm committed to myself. I'm devoted to my healing. And I'm going to work smarter by utilizing the tools that are effective, that have proven to be effective, right? This isn't just fluff. This is actually proven subconscious healing methods that work. So when you are struggling because you're doing all the things, you're putting in so much effort, you're trying so hard, right? Is to really ask yourself, are you just doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result? Because a lot of times we get trapped in this, where we read all the books, we watch all the videos, we go to therapy for years, and we keep doing the same things, but nothing changes. Well, there's a reason for that. It's not working. So either we don't know what the right tools are that do work, or we're resistant to it for some reason, right? Some people are on a perpetual healing journey, and what I mean by that is they'll continue to put in effort to try to heal themselves for a reason. Like, it helps them feel good about themselves, or it helps them, it gives them something positive, whatever that might be. And there really isn't a true desire to ever make changes. This happens to a lot of people. I've seen it before, where their conscious mind says, yes, I want to recover from this, or yes, I want to be a better person, or yes, I want to stop these behaviors, or be different. Their conscious brain says that, but something's driving the subconscious that's continuing the behavior of endlessly searching for the right thing, endlessly trying to keep repeating the same old things that keep them stuck. And there is no shame in this. There is no blame in this. This is just a reality, and I want you to be aware of it, because if the true desire on your heart is to overcome your trauma, if it is to be the best version of you that you can, if it is to change your life for the better and those around you, then you really have to start to look at, are the things that I'm doing actually changing anything? Like, really, truly, are they changing anything? Or am I just doing this because someone told me I should, or because it feels good to me? Is it actually changing? And you may say yes. You may be like, yes, yoga has changed my life. Breathwork has changed my life. These things, and that's wonderful. And those are things that I would encourage you to continue to do. But we really have to look at ourselves. We really have to be honest with ourselves. We can't just say like, oh yeah, I feel a little bit better when I do this, right? Are you changing? Are your patterns changing? Are your habits changing? Or are you still showing up as that same old version of you that you've always been? And if this is something that you're not sure about and you want support with, this is what I do in my Ask Allison Voxer support. You can have access to me through Voxer to voice note me and message me and talk through these things, and I can give you this real support, right? Versus just listening to it on a podcast. It can be really drilled down to your specific situations in your real life. So if you need support right then that is what I have that container for, and you can get that information on my website. So let's talk about one more thing here before we finally close. So often this kind of repetitive thing that we do that doesn't yield results ends up leaving us feeling defeated. So you're journaling and your hands are cramping, you're pouring your heart out, but you still wake up from a nightmare. You still wake up with it being the first thing on your mind. You've blocked your ex on every platform you can think of, but you're still checking your phone every morning hoping that maybe he reached out with an apology or something. Or you have been repeating affirmations every morning. You have them pop up on your phone even. But as soon as a trigger hits, you're back to tears, you're spiraling out of shame. Women often carry beliefs when they're feeling this kind of way, like maybe I'm too broken to heal. If it hasn't worked by now, then it never will. I must be doing it wrong. Maybe I don't deserve this, or maybe I don't deserve better, right? And these are not character flaws, they're not personality flaws. There's not something wrong with you if this is your reality. It's subconscious automation, essentially, is what it is. That 95% that I talked about before. It's these patterns that are running on autopilot, because here's why. If you're driving a car and you plug that car in to go a certain way on the map, right? And let's say you have a self-driving car, that automation is just going to run. It's just going to go wherever you tell it to go. If you turn off that automation and you put yourself in the driver's seat, you can go a different way. You can decide, I'm not going this way anymore. Okay? And that's how your brain is. Your brain has been programmed, just like a computer, just like a self-driving car, just like a robot. It's been programmed, in your case, by trauma, by past experiences, by things that your society or your parents or your culture or your religion has made you believe that you've just never questioned. And that repeats these old patterns. It keeps showing up in your life. It's just running on autopilot. It's doing it for your benefit. And here's why. Because if you have these things running on autopilot, you don't have to think about it consciously. That'd be way too hard for you to think about all these things consciously. So your mind stores it up and it says, we're going to run these programs automatically. We're just going to have her check her phone every morning. We're just going to have her repeat these affirmations but still get triggered. We're just going to have her, wake up with these, same thought loops. It's not trying to sabotage you. Your brain is not trying. It's actually trying to protect you. But we need to change the program because the program is faulty. Okay? So when you're feeling defeated like this because you have done so many things and you're trying and nothing's changing, it's not proof that there's something wrong with you or that you're weak or you can't do it or you're not trying hard enough. That's not true. None of that is true. What it's proof of is that your subconscious mind is doing its job. And the good news is it will continue to do its job, but if you program it in the way that you want it to operate, it's going to do an amazing job for you. Okay? This is such good news, you guys. I hope you hear this. I hope you understand this is such good news. Because it's not like you're forever doomed to be this way. You're not. This is not like a life sentence. This is just temporary, and you can change it. Does it take practice? Yes. Does it take repetition? Yes. Does it take commitment on your part? Yes. But that's what I'm here for. That's what I help you with. So maybe go out onto the website, take that free quiz, see what your subconscious beliefs are. See what's running the show for you. And there's even a question at the bottom that allows you to fill in some of your own beliefs that then I can respond to. So if there are things that you're thinking on repeat, then put those in there and I'll address it for you. Okay? So many of you might be wondering, well, how do I how do I do this? Like, how do I work with the subconscious mind? Well, if this is the first time you're hearing my podcast, then I'd really encourage you to go back and listen to a lot of the other episodes, because I give instructions on how to do this. I give you the answers. I tell you how to do it. So ultimately what you're doing, and I'll just tell you in a nutshell, you're bringing up whatever subconscious beliefs you have. You're bringing them to the surface. You're being aware of them. You're not judging them. And then you are questioning them and challenging them. And if you feel resistance to questioning and challenging them, that means it needs to be questioned and challenged. That means that that has a tight grip in your brain and it doesn't want to let go. So what do I mean by this? If you have a belief that I can't do hard things, every time something hard happens in your life and you get all frazzled and upset because you can't do hard things, that belief is driving the show for you. You will not ever be able to do hard things because you believe that you can't do hard things. So you have to start to challenge that and say, wait a second, can I do hard things? Have I ever done hard things ever in my whole life? Is there, even when I was like 4 years old, did I ever learn to do something difficult? Did I learn to read when I was in kindergarten? Like, where's the lie here, right? We just let these beliefs just run their course, just take over, and we're just like, oh, I'm at the mercy of them. You're not. You are not at the mercy of your beliefs, okay? So if nothing changes, when you are putting in a lot of effort because you're trying so hard and you want things to change and you're using the willpower method and all that stuff, but it's not happening, it's because you're working at the wrong part of your mind. You're working in the wrong layer. You're working at the top layer, at the surface, versus the subconscious. And this is not your fault, and you are not broken in any way. You just need to shift how you approach healing. Smarter, not harder. You don't need to keep putting in all this effort. You can literally just do something so much simpler. So if you want support, you can work with me one-on-one. You can join my online community. You can try out the Ask Allison Boxer support if you want like in-the-moment guidance. And at minimum, you can take the quiz and see what some of your beliefs are. So I'd really encourage you to do that. I really appreciate you guys listening week to week. Share this episode with other people. Share my podcast with other people, because the more we get the word out, the better our world will be. Because this kind of stuff isn't just fluff. It is real, actionable stuff that makes lasting changes. And the world will be such a better place if everybody could get there. So thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your reviews, your support, your messages. I value you guys so much. You have no idea. I really appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you on the next episode.